I still remember the way my mother looked at me that night. Her eyes were cold, almost disgusted, as if she couldn't bear to see me anymore. "You'll never be beautiful, Emma," she said, her voice sharp as glass. "Stop dreaming about being someone you're not. Models aren't born from faces like yours." I was 12. It was the first time I realized that a mother's words could hurt more than anything else in the world. I ran to my room, pressed my face against the pillow, and cried until I could barely breathe. I didn't understand why the woman who was supposed to protect me was the one tearing me apart. But that wasn't the last time she humiliated me. No, that became her favorite sport. Every dinner, every family gathering, she found a way to remind me that I wasn't the pretty one. My cousin Sophia was tall, blonde, with that effortless charm that everyone loved. Mom adored her. She would hold Sophia's face and say, "Look at this beautiful girl, Emma. You should learn something from her." I would smile, pretending it didn't hurt, but inside I was dying a little more each time. When I turned 15, I stopped looking in the mirror. I didn't want to see what she saw. I buried myself in books, music, anything that would make me feel invisible. But here's the thing, when someone tells you that you're worthless long enough, part of you starts to believe it, and part of you starts to fight it. That fight began quietly. One afternoon at school, a teacher asked for volunteers for the annual play. I don't know what made me raise my hand, maybe desperation, maybe the silent wish to be seen. I ended up getting a small role. But when I stepped onto that stage for the first time, I felt something shift. The lights were blinding. The audience was quiet. For the first time in my life, people were looking at me, not with pity or judgment, but with attention. I wasn't Emma, the ugly daughter. I was someone else, someone powerful. That night, when I got home, I told my mother I wanted to join a drama club. She laughed. "Drama club? Don't embarrass yourself. You're not made for the stage, Emma. You don't have the look for it." I swallowed my tears, went to my room, and signed up anyway. Every afternoon, I stayed late at school. I practiced posture, speech, facial expression. All the little things that make you believe you belong somewhere. I wasn't pretty, not yet, but I was learning something deeper. Presence. Years went by, and while other girls were posting selfies and going to parties, I was learning how to control the way I walked, the way I looked at the world. The stage became my second home. When I turned 17, I auditioned for a small modeling project for a local fashion school. It wasn't glamorous, just students testing their designs. But when the photographer saw me, he paused. "You have a unique face," he said. "Not conventional, but powerful." That night I cried again, not from pain but relief. Someone finally saw me differently. I didn't tell my mother. She would have ruined it. Instead, I sneaked out on weekends to do photo shoots. Small amateur ones at first. Sometimes I got paid in coffee or a sandwich. But I didn't care. Every click of the camera healed a wound my mother had left open. Still, the comments never stopped. "Your daughter? A model?" My mom would laugh at family gatherings. "Oh, please. Don't believe everything she says. She likes to pretend." Each time she said it, I felt a fire burning in my chest. I wanted to prove her wrong. And I did. When I turned 19, a stylist from New York visited the city. He was scouting for fresh faces for a campaign. I didn't think I stood a chance. There were dozens of stunning girls, tall, flawless, confident. But he stopped in front of me. "You," he said, pointing. "Don't move." My heart nearly stopped. He asked for a test photo. Then another. Then he smiled, that quiet, knowing smile that changes everything. "You have something different," he said. "Raw emotion. You don't pose, you feel." 2 weeks later, I got the call. I'd been chosen. The campaign wasn't huge, but it was my first step into the real world of fashion. I didn't tell my mom until I saw my own face in a store window downtown. I walked home with trembling hands, clutching the magazine like a secret treasure. When I entered the house, she was sitting at the table reading. "Mom," I said softly. She looked up, annoyed. "What is it now?" I placed the magazine in front of her. For a moment, she didn't say anything. She just stared. My face, her daughter's face, on a national campaign. Finally, she laughed. A bitter, nervous laugh. This is just luck. Don't get excited. They'll forget about you soon." But they didn't. That photo opened doors. Slowly, carefully, I built my career. I wasn't the most beautiful, but I was the most determined. Every no became fuel. Every rejection became a lesson. And every insult from her became a reason to keep going. Still inside, I was that 12-year-old girl, desperate for her mother to say, "I'm proud of you." It never came. Years later, I moved out. I built a small apartment in the city, started living alone. Modeling gigs came and went. Some paid well, some didn't. But I was building something real. Until one day, I got the email that would change everything. Invitation to the Global Fashion Gala. Main runway selection. It was the event of the year. The kind that could define a career. I almost deleted it, thinking it was a mistake. But it wasn't. They wanted me. Me, Emma, the ugly one. The next 2 months were madness. Training, fittings, rehearsals. I barely slept. Every step on that runway would be the answer to years of pain. And the night before the event, something strange happened. My phone rang. Unknown number. "Hello, Emma. It's your mother." My heart froze. I hadn't heard her voice in years. "I saw you," she said quietly. "On TV. They said you're walking tomorrow." I didn't know what to say. She hesitated, then asked, "Can I come?" For a moment, every scar, every humiliation came flooding back. Part of me wanted to say no, to make her feel the same rejection she gave me. But another part, the part that still craved love, said yes. "Of course," I whispered. The night of the gala arrived like a dream I had been rehearsing for years. The city was glowing, lights reflecting off wet streets, cameras flashing, the air thick with perfume and excitement. I sat in the back seat of the black car, staring at my reflection in the window. The girl staring back at me wasn't the same one who used to cry in her bedroom. I was wearing a silver gown that shimmered with every breath. My makeup was soft, my hair swept to the side, my eyes calm but fierce. For once, I didn't feel like I had to prove anything. I wasn't walking for them. I was walking for me. When I stepped out of the car, the sound hit me. Photographers calling my name, lights bursting like fireworks. My legs trembled, but I kept walking, one heel after another, steady and proud. Backstage, the models buzzed around, stylists fixing last details, assistants whispering directions. The energy was electric. I could feel my heart pounding in my chest, but beneath it all was a strange peace, like I had already won. Then from the corner of my eye, I saw her. My mother. She was standing near the back, wearing a dark blue dress, her hair pulled tightly, looking smaller than I remembered. For a second, time stopped. All the years of distance, all the words that broke me, hung between us like smoke. She looked at me, really looked, and for the first time in my life I saw something new in her eyes. Not disappointment, not judgment, something softer, maybe regret. I didn't say anything. Neither did she. But her lips trembled, and I knew that somehow this moment was healing something in both of us. A voice interrupted my thoughts. "Models, line up. 10 minutes. I took a deep breath, fixed my posture, and joined the others. The music began, deep, cinematic, pulsing through the room. One by one, the models stepped onto the runway, each met with flashes and applause. When it was my turn, I closed my eyes for a heartbeat and whispered to myself, "This is for her. And for me." And then I walked. The runway stretched like a river of light. Cameras exploded around me, but all I saw was the end. That final point where I'd stop and look straight ahead. My steps were slow, confident. Every breath, every turn of my head, carried years of pain and resilience. In that moment, I wasn't just walking. I was rewriting history. I remember being 12, hearing her say I was ugly. I remembered the nights I cried, the whispers at school, the looks of pity. And now, here I was, in front of hundreds of people on one of the biggest stages in the world. As I reached the end of the runway, the lights dimmed slightly. I stopped, lifted my chin, and met the audience's gaze. For a heartbeat, everything went silent. Then the applause hit. Loud, roaring, like a wave that swallowed every painful memory I ever had. When I walked backstage again, my chest felt light. I had done it. I turned around, and there she was again. My mother. She walked toward me slowly, hesitantly, like someone afraid to break something fragile. When she reached me, she opened her mouth, but no words came out. Her eyes glistened. Finally, she said, "You were beautiful." For a moment, I couldn't breathe. Beautiful. The word I had been waiting to hear my whole life. The one she had used to hurt me, now used to heal me. Tears filled my eyes, and I smiled, whispering, Thank you, Mom. She took a shaky breath. I was wrong, Emma. I thought the world would never accept you. I thought I was protecting you. But I was only breaking you. Her voice cracked and suddenly she looked older, smaller, almost fragile. I touched her hand. It's okay, I said softly. You don't have to explain. I'm fine now. But she shook her head. No, you're not fine because of me. You're fine in spite of me. And then she did something she had never done before. She hugged me. It wasn't a perfect hug. It was awkward, hesitant, but it was real. And for me it was enough. After the show, journalists came rushing backstage, asking for interviews, flashing cameras everywhere. Emma, how does it feel to walk the biggest runway of the year? I smiled and said, it feels like finally coming home. They asked about my family, my past, how I got here. For the first time, I didn't hide it. I told them, I wasn't born confident. I wasn't told I was beautiful. But I learned that real beauty isn't what they see. It's what you survive. The quote went viral the next morning. It was everywhere, on social media, in magazines, on talk shows. But the most surreal moment came a week later. I was sitting in a cafe when my phone buzzed with a message from my mother. I'm proud of you. Just 4 words. I stared at them, my throat tight, tears slipping down my face. I typed back, thank you for coming that night. She replied, it was the first time I saw who you really are. That message, simple as it was, closed a wound I thought would never heal. Months passed. My career grew. I began speaking at schools and small events, telling my story. Not about fashion, but about pain, resilience, and forgiveness. People would cry. Some would come up after and whisper. My mom said the same things to me. And every time I told them what I learned. You don't need anyone's permission to be worthy. One afternoon during a live interview, the host asked me, if you could go back to that night when your mother called you ugly, what would you say to her? I paused, smiled, and said, I'd say thank you, because if she hadn't broken me, I might never have learned how to build myself. The studio went silent. And in that silence, I realized something. Forgiveness isn't about letting someone off the hook. It's about freeing yourself. Years later, when my mother got sick, I was the one who took care of her. Not out of obligation, but because I finally understood her. A woman who had been broken by her own insecurities, passing them on like an inherited curse. One evening, as I sat by her bedside, she whispered, you became everything I wasn't brave enough to be. That was the last thing she ever said to me. When she passed, I didn't cry out of anger or sadness. I cried out of peace. She had given me pain, but she also gave me purpose. And now, every time I walk a runway, every time the lights hit my face, I know she's there. Not as the voice that hurt me, but as the silence that made me stronger. People still ask, how did you forgive her? I always answer, because I learned that love, even broken love, can still teach us who we are meant to become. That night, after the biggest event of my life, I came home, took off my heels and looked in the mirror. For the first time, I didn't see a face that needed fixing. I saw a survivor, a woman who learned that beauty isn't about perfection, it's about courage. And maybe that's what real transformation looks like. If you've ever been told you're not enough, remember this. You don't need anyone to define your worth. The pain you carry can become your light if you choose to rise from it. Don't wait for approval. Don't wait for love that hurts to make you feel whole. Create your own story, even if it starts in the dark. Because one day, like me, you'll look back and realize the truth. You were never broken, you were becoming. Thank you for listening to my story. If it touched your heart, share your own in the comments. Maybe someone needs your light too.